Good evening. My name is Daniel Eliawa. First and foremost, I'm an immigrant to this country. My wife and I live here in Murray, and our family is a blended mixed race family. 4 of our children are biracial and 1 Caucasian. 2 of our kids identify as LGBTQ, and we have serious or various religious beliefs in our home. We understand the importance of having materials that represent all of our kids' identities, race, beliefs, and orientations. We value literature that represents inclusion and diversity in a positive, age-appropriate way. We are not afraid of discussing and reading about different perspectives. However, we recently learned that many of the books in our school libraries are absolutely inappropriate for children and pornographic in nature. I reject the idea that these books are the only ones that can represent marginalized groups and individuals. I do not want any of my children reading this kind of disgusting material and thinking it represents them. It bothers me when authors use their minority status to justify pushing their perverted material onto our children. Of all the things that they could be writing about for our children, they've chosen to include explicit graphic pornographic material, and Murray School District has chosen to include them in our school libraries. Unfortunately, 2 of my children have also been sexually assaulted. My wife and I have spent a lot of time, effort, and money helping them overcome and cope with these traumatic experiences. We appreciate your efforts to provide lessons and training from Prevent Child Abuse Utah in our school classrooms. However, it is frightening to think that they could come across passages in some of these books in your school libraries and be re-traumatized by the graphic descriptions of child sex abuse. We need to consider the pain and suffering and emotional distress that these books could inflict on other survivors of sexual abuse. In my profession, one of my main responsibilities is to keep inappropriate content off of our network. You put filters on students' Chromebooks to prevent access to inappropriate content. As adults, how many of you would lose your jobs if this type of content was found on your work computers? If that be the case, what makes you think this content is safe or appropriate for our children? Why are we allowing this into our libraries, school libraries? Frankly speaking, these authors have found a way around your firewalls and security systems into our children's books.
15 seconds.
Please consider removing books that contain pornography and graphic depictions of sexual assault. Also, please consider rewriting the policy that allowed these books to get there in the first place. Thank you.